name is Chelsea, and I have a few thoughts in mind that I would like to share to my audience. Here goes. Well, in all honesty, I must say, life is shitty. It's no doubt that we live in a very crooked world. That I'm not looking for a pity party. I'm not looking for any of that. I just know that if I give my thoughts to those who feel the same way, at least I feel some validation for what I say. Because apparently, even to my close ones, when I talk this way, they just dismiss it and brush it off. And I'm pretty sure there are other people who feel the same too. So, I've gained a lot of perspective. A lot. Taken from two people, renowned author Raquel Cepeda and Laura Zapata are two of the prime example of Latin women who grew up in pretty much the same background, family background as me. One is more messed up than the other because the other didn't have to grow up out of that. And what I mean by that is Laura Zapata, she's a Mexican actress of Spanish soap operas. I'm sure some of you know her, I'm sure some of you don't, but I'm just gonna like put put her name out there just so you get some idea of what I mean. Every time they interview this woman, it's always Thalia. You know, she's Thalia is another one who's famous, and she's not only famous for her acting skills, but in the Mexican like community, like in the in Mexican showbiz, she's also a singer. She's happily married to her faithful husband, has probably a couple children, probably more. I could be wrong. I mean, I don't know all about her life, but I've noticed that Laura's very bitter, even in a way that is like throwing indirects, indirect like like things at her own loved ones, the people that she's supposed to respect and value. But I'm not gonna place blame on her. I just see her perspective and I kind of understand it. And maybe she felt left out on certain things. You know, she's not a Sodi. That's another surname that also belongs to the other members of the Thalia family who are more closely um, together from the later generations, and she's a much older generation. And I think she feels highly disregarded. It's sad, but I feel that Laura Zapata is feeling really highly disregarded. Why? Because of the upbringing that she grew up in, having all these half siblings, sharing their life and their joys and their moments together. Everywhere they go, it's just all fun and games. And don't regard the people, who feel kind of left out. I mean, hello, she felt left out. She says mean, snide things, like that maybe it's hurtful to some people. People don't understand where she's coming from. I was kind of angry at her. I was just bashing on her at some point. But I gave her some perspective. I give her some perspective for what she's going through because I'm pretty much going through the same thing. And I've been going through it my whole entire life. Just being born, firstborn, only through the family that I belong to now. The only firstborn out of older siblings from my mom's previous marriages, and I had to grow up out of that. I mean, her children, as in terms of my older brother and you know sisters. I mean, my all my sisters bore their children. They're raised excellently well. They're very like they're so well off. All of them graduated. What about me? I couldn't make it to my junior year. I thought I was making some progress in college, but something just couldn't couldn't it just couldn't I couldn't stick with the program basically. And it's from one school after another. And, you know, and then the other example is Raquel Cepeda. Here's another prime example of a Latin person. I think it's a Spanish thing basically. It's like so Spanish. She also grew up in that kind of household. Her mom, in her first marriage, she's being the firstborn ever, before she remarried and had all these other kids with all those different men, you know, I mean, her mom really counted on the love of her father. This is Raquel Zapata, just moving on to the next person. And, you know, it's like this woman just kept making one bad mistake after another, after another. And just when you think a person could learn from these mistakes, she doesn't. And what's worse is she keeps reproducing all these kids. Even to the wrong types of men, the codependency of like relying on love to fulfill you, to make you feel whole. Basically, that's the same thing with my mom. Basically, this is what I see all the time, you know, um, and you know, crack a joke if you want, for whoever who might not share the same race as me, even those who share my race as a Dominican woman, Latina too, like Hispanic, Latina, whatever, I guess. I don't know in which order, I mean, how to describe that. But being Dominican, that's like North America. I think that's a part of North America, Caribbean island. I mean, I'm not born there, but like, I was born in this country and stuff, and it's always been that kind of like debate of like a discussion when I talk to a random person who happens to share my family's race. I have to consider it just my family's race because apparently I'm not like 100% Dominican because I wasn't born on the native land. So apparently I'm just as an American citizen, or as how some like to like regarded as just a gringa, and I don't appreciate that. I really wouldn't like to be called a gringa because gringa is derogatory, just for someone who doesn't know anything about their culture. And I have a pretty damn good idea about my culture, and it's the way it is. I mean, I feel like an outsider in the Hispanic community because I was born in this country. And I don't know the struggles they go through as immigrants. I don't know their customs. I don't know things like that. But it wasn't something that was like you know, that I learned from, that was like taught to me. Like my mom didn't want to teach me the Latin American way, but to adapt to the American way. And I mean, I kind of resent that, but I also understand where she's coming from, so I'm not gonna like debate over that. Bottom line is, as a woman of color, a woman of color, I came from a mother who's tan, a father who's white. Crack a joke. Going back to this, little thing I want to point out. People can crack a joke and just say basically, "Oh, so you dookie," because I bet that's what they think. If they ever come to see my father, they, I mean, they probably just assume that I'm adopted or something. Not true. Maybe God made me this way, because believe it or not, I read an article. Yes, an article that said a woman of color, just like a woman, like a black woman, an African American woman, are less likely to commit suicide. And I don't know if that only applies to the United States, which it does, but I'm pretty sure it applies everywhere around the world. And let me tell you, we go through a lot of crap. I mean, a lot. You know very well how much garbage we have to put up with. From discrimination, lack of opportunities, lack of love, no relationships. We could be successful, we could have a high paying job, be our own executives in our own office, and still not be in a relationship. But we are less likely to commit suicide. because our strength of character, our strength of spirit is so high, and nothing, and I mean nothing, is going to break that. And I count on my skin color, not because, I got the nice body, the Latin and also some African parts to me, which gives off this like incredible body and the fantastic legs and stuff. Just things that men notice. I'm pretty sure. It's not about that. It's not about my sex appeal. It's about my strength of spirit. Nothing, and I mean no one can take that away from me because it's a God-given right for me, and no one. I mean, seriously, I literally even tried to cut myself. I mean, I'm getting personal and on the deep end, but something inside of me, maybe my spirit guides, because I believe that other stuff too, and maybe it's just God that's just saying, it's not your time, don't do that. I'm also expecting a child out of a man who's out of wedlock and out of a man who just doesn't care. He ran with his life. I won't accept a man who's just gonna walk out whenever he damn feels like it. And I'm gonna hold him accountable to his actions, to his carelessness. As long as I know he doesn't like girls, but he has a habit of producing girls. So, I bet Ivy's. I'm pretty sure. I'm going in tangents, but anyways, women of color have strength of character. We have a lot of strength of character, unlike anything that the world has ever seen. I mean, we face genital mutilation, our breasts being flattened just to look, I don't know, like probably like more European. It's me. It, in African cultures, we have to bleach our skin to look more white. We bleach our hairs, you know, or have to at least to get the blonde look or any streak to make us enhance our features in some type of way. And so many things. We just go through so many atrocities, but yet our strength of spirit, our strength of character is what makes us strong. And my only problem is I don't when people like have a way of like putting me down and just criticizing me in the meanest way without any mercy, I hold on to it, but I can't hold to that crap any longer. I could give myself a spiritual cleansing bath according to what my spiritual like I don't know if she'd be a witch doctor or something. I consult with someone like that because apparently I don't feel God present in my life. Don't try to talk me into this God talk anymore. I mean, I believe me, been there, done that. But I mean, I'm going in tangents again, just giving you a little insider's thing idea about what's going on in my life. And I think I need it. So I need a spiritual cleanse. I mean, that's what I need right now. I just, because I hold on to a lot of things. I hold on to a lot of things. I hold on to people's uh, just total disregard and disrespect. And I hold on to a lot of things. I hold on to the crush that never answers back. Though, I found him and he probably doesn't want to do anything to do with me because he thinks I'm gonna bring the drama, like bring the drama back to his life. And that's not the case. I just want closure. Some people can grant you closure, and while others don't. Too bad in my life, I didn't have that luck with men to gain that sense of closure. And you know, if that means I should I'm not gonna take it there, but no, I'm not. If you guys have some idea of where I'm leading it to, I'm not gonna take it there. It's pretty evil. It's pretty fucking evil. I'm telling you. I could be like badass when I get my revenge, but it's like whatever, brush it off over your shoulder, brush it over your shoulder like that, let bygones be bygones, whatever, just whatever, you know. And for my final thought, I wrote like, I don't know how to call it. It's like a word of advice, just some words of wisdom that I've accumulated, at least learned from, at least from watching Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. So, you get those crazy insights after watching so many life events and dramas taking place in people. You see it all the time, and it's like you gain some level of perspective, and you want to take sides, but then you just want to stay good and you want to stay whole. So, okay, here we go. It's called Be Good in All Causes. Be good in the good, stay good in the bad, choose wisdom over dishonest gains, guide yourself with your honest truth, never succumb to low blows when grace of character prompts it. Never let yourself be enticed to provocations. Let your kindness shine to those who deserve it. Never try to make yourself more righteous, because it's easily challenged to fault finding. And do what's best even in the world, even if the world, okay, excuse me, let me read this again. And do what's best even in the world where ungratefulness is highly regarded. Know you do good to feel good with yourself, and you can sleep easy, for no enemies will seek your present and destroy your future.